He joins us now. Todd, the big story looming over the team this offseason, Micah Parsons' contract, or at the moment lack thereof. What did Jerry Jones say about that today?
Well, let's start where Micah is. He's here. That's the good news, right? He's in one of these hotel rooms. There was some question as what he would be, but back in June at the minicamp, Micah said he would be here. The question now becomes, will he practice? Will we see some sort of hold in? 2 years ago, the Cowboys didn't see Zach Martin held out of training camp before getting a deal done. Last year, CeeDee Lamb missed most of training camp before he getting a deal done. For Jerry Jones, though, he's not concerned about Micah and the contract, believing it eventually will get done.
2 years ago, we were here, and I think Zach Martin wasn't here. He had his situation, although he had a contract, so you worked through that. I was looking at this documentary, and it spent some time going back in the Emmitt Smith negotiation and what was going on there. There's nothing new about what we're talking about here today relative to contracts. That's been going on a long time. Now, if you say, well, if you don't get him in, or you're going to lose the first 2 games, then go on to win the Super Bowl, well, we'll take that. Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year. You can get hit by a car. Seriously. And so there's a lot to look at over a lot of years that could make a big difference. Have you ever heard of any clubs committing to players and then they didn't pan out after they committed to them? We have.
Well, we all know it's been 29 years since the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. They had the longest NFC Championship game drought. And if they break both of those codes this year, will be with a rookie head coach in Brian Schottenheimer. Yes, he's a rookie head coach, but he has experience, 25 years as an assistant, and he grew up under his dad, Marty. 200 wins in the NFL, but no Super Bowl. Brian said if the Cowboys do get a Super Bowl this year, he's going to give his dad a ring.
Well, the Parsons, the headliner, it deserves. We'll get to that sound in a second, Todd. He leads the NFL in pressure rate since his debut in 2021, 4 full seasons in the league. I'm running empty here in studio, but Mina Kimes, Andrew Hawkins, Field Yates, they signed up for 60, and I had a great vantage point of these guys reacting to that Jerry Jones sound we just heard. Field, what do you make of how the Cowboys have handled Parsons' contract extension and what Jones said today?
Yeah, first of all, Phil, if Jerry ever decided to retire from being the owner of the Cowboys or GM of the Cowboys, I feel like he'd be a great analyst on television because the man is a walking soundbite machine. You know, Jerry Jones, I do believe, and I know Todd has talked about this and reported on it, that there was nearly a deal in place between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons much earlier this offseason. What I will say, though, for Micah Parsons' vantage point is that Jerry referenced at least one of those prior hold-ins, holdouts, whatever you want to refer to them as, the Cowboys have been doing this dance over the past handful of seasons pretty frequently. Dak Prescott, his contract negotiations, CeeDee Lamb, Zach Martin, even going back to Ezekiel Elliott. I think what those negotiations may embolden Micah Parsons to do is play a little bit on his terms and understand that sometimes being patient and letting other players that play the same position, like Max Crosby and Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, getting new deals could end up working to his advantage, because it would not surprise any of us if Micah Parsons eventually surpasses Hawk, the recent deal that TJ Watt just signed.
I think you're spot on, Phil, and I get that Jerry Jones is used to this process. He's okay with waiting to the very last minute and paying whatever tax comes along with that. But the reality is, it's a distraction, and it has an ability to derail your season too early. Like, yeah, in a perfect world, you miss 2 games and then go win the Super Bowl. But we know that's not how this works. Every week is super important. And the Zach Martin situation, the CeeDee Lamb situation, even for Micah Parsons, you're better off getting him in the building and practicing, because you need him to be the best defensive player in the league if your goals are legitimate.
Hawk, you mentioned that tax. If you just look at the per annum added cost of Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb last go around, that might have been the difference between getting, I don't know, a Derrick Henry in the house in Dallas. Nina, the defense, where Parsons is the germane topic here, not great last season. 28th total defense, 31st scoring defense. Do you expect improvement for that side of the ball this year?
Yes and no. Yes, because a lot of the struggles last year had to do with injuries, missing starting cornerbacks. Marcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons missed a few games, though not as many as Jerry Jones weirdly said. So even just having more healthy players on the field, you're going to see some improvement there. I also think pass rush opposite Parsons is an area that I'm excited about. Micah was the second most double-teamed edge in football last year, so it's a real opportunity for one of those young edges or Dante Fowler to step up. But the no, I said earlier, that's just because of the run defense, which has been the thorn in this defense's side now for a few years, and it's an area where I don't see a lot of improvement on this roster unless Mozzie Smith dramatically improves on the inside, or they find value at the linebacker position, which looks to be one of the weaker position groups in the NFL, quite frankly, with the Marvin Overshown